Hat, the Nate hate hat, is the fucking are the letters actually in the front and like in centered?
Really centered.
Okay, I was gonna say if I
look at me straight on. Yeah.
You trying to be straight face? Oh my god.
Holy fuck. This is gonna be great.
Oh, I didn't. Can I still hear? Okay.
You can probably put it on over the headphones. That'd be fucking epic.
Gars. And I actually got a haircut, so my hairline isn't fucked right now.
Dude, yeah, you told me. It looks fire. Cleaned up.
I'm Tim Pool.
Nice. That actually fits
like a glove on a foot. You remember that fucking Black Ops 2 Zombies quote from Misty?
No.
Dude, I played way too much Black Ops 2 Zombies. I gotta look at myself and make sure I don't look retarded. Alright, let's try. Welcome to the Nate Hate Show. And today's a little bit of a special episode. It's different. And the way it's different is that me and Jake are high as fuck. And we're going to talk about my Hawaii trip a little bit to begin it. Dude, so first of all, flight out there. I had to go to San Francisco, and it was like about an hour away, and then I flew to Hawaii from San Francisco. And so I fucking, whenever I got to San Francisco, I had like a 4-hour layover, so I did what anyone naturally would do, and I got shit-faced. And
dude,
I had like 7-8 whiskey cokes, and I guess halfway through they started giving me double shots, and I didn't realize that. And
why would they do you like that?
I mean, I probably asked for it, and like I was probably like, "Hey, throw another shot in there or something," and they're like, "Whatever, you're paying for it," and just did it anyways. And so I get on I remember I was watching kickboxing fights, getting a little bit belligerent, like at the bar.
My God.
Not like crazy or anything, but I was just like, "Oh, let's go, like fucking, like a Tourette's nigga, like fucking, if anything." But like, I remember that, and I remember getting up and being like, "All right, it's time to go to and then Blackout." And I don't remember getting on the plane. I don't remember scanning my ticket. I don't remember sitting down, first class, by the way, because you know how I roll. And I was literally just like walked in and like
I was talking to you when you were blacked out that whole time, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
What? What the fuck was I saying?
There's no way.
Dude.
There's no way.
I was destroyed. And then I got on the plane.
Yeah, you definitely kept saying that you were destroyed. But you were like definitely
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fucking good enough, I guess. My Blackout version is just...
You talked to some dude about fucking Star Wars, because I was talking to you about something with Star Wars, and Cad Bane came up, and I guess you said Cad Bane out loud in the airport, and some other dude, like, started a conversation with you over it.
Dude, Cad Bane was such a badass fucking bounty hunter. I remember the Clone Wars is actually what put me on that nigga. Definitely one of my favorite characters. This is an
Blackout drunk Nate loves Cad Bane.
Mm-hmm. Sober Nate does as well, and so does Gas Nate. And fucking, anyways, get on the plane, and I guess I woke up. So whenever I came to, it was whenever they gave the announcement that we were about to land, and I realized I had throw up all over me, and I was like, ugh, and I was cuddled up next to this like pretty decent bitch. Fucking, just like on her, but she was laying on me, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's on her as well. And like, I didn't realize how bad it stunk until like the next morning when I took the clothes. Well, no, I took the clothes off and like put them in my bag. But whenever I fucking like smelled them the next morning, I almost threw up again. And I was like, then I instantly thought of her fucking being. I would have demanded that they moved him, like me, away if I was her. And she was laid up on me as well. And I was just like, that is a grimy bitch. The drunk,
dude, that is gross.
The drunk nigga that fucking threw up on himself is here judging her because she was so okay with being near me. Fucking... Okay, so anyways, we landed in Hawaii, and I thought that I should have a day early, and I forgot to book the Airbnb, so I was like, oh shit, like I texted John, and I was like, hey John, I just landed. He was like, bro, we're on Oahu, which is a different island than we went to. Like, we were on the big island, which, by the way, is fucking massive. Like, I thought Hawaii was like a small little thing. They call it the big island. It's fucking big. But, god damn, bro.
Dude, yeah. You literally told me that, too.
What? That it was...
About the vomit part, and just, it's that funny.
Dude, oh, yeah. Dude, that's so nasty. Like, I lived it, but, like, thinking about it, like, afterwards, people, when they listen to this, are gonna just be like...
Dude, I'm just surprised that even happened, because it sounded like you, like, set yourself up for success. You got on the plane, took a piss, sat down.
Dude,
chilling.
Fucking... No, I didn't get to take a piss, because I remember the one part I do remember is I got up to go to the bathroom to take a piss, and I started walking towards the back, which was a bad move, because there was a bathroom in the front that I didn't know about. And she was like, sir, you gotta sit down, we're still boarding. And I was like, shit. Fucking... Anyways... I get to Hawaii. There's no place for me to stay. I'm like, all right, well, I'll go to the nearest hotel. It's all resorts in Hawaii and like the area that we're at. So I was like, whatever. I'm down to pay like $300 for the night, I guess, if I have to. And like, I get there, and I don't know why, but I thought that I could show up at like 8 p.m. on a Friday night in Hawaii in the middle of the summer and like just get a room.
Oh my god.
You gotta make reservations for that
silly
shit.
Willy.
Yeah, so I went, changed out of my vomit clothes at this place called the Royal Kona. Shout out them. And then I saw that there was a bar that was outside. It looked pretty cool. I went over to the bar and started drinking fucking, what are those called? Pina coladas.
Okay.
And then I got an Uber to another bar, or another hotel to go fucking see if I could stay there. Also booked. Then I was like, let's stop fucking around. Got an Airbnb. Went to the Airbnb. Took a shower. I was like, all right, well, I'm ready. And then I went out to a bar. And then I started drinking a little bit more and watching these people play volleyball. And I went back to the fucking Airbnb and I passed out. Like in my fucking normal clothes, and I had to wake up at like 6 because they were picking me up, and I woke up at like 5 and I was like, oh, I need to throw up, and just had some dry heaves for a little bit, and then I took a shower and I was ready to go. Packed up my shit. That's when I smelled the fucking clothes, by the way, and I was like, it was after the dry heaves, and then I like smelled it again, and I was like, oh, I need to go back.
Did it smell like booze?
It smelled like vomit. Like, it didn't really have any alcohol-y smell to it.
Okay.
It just smelled disgusting.
Stinky vommy.
Yeah. All right, so that day we fucking kind of chilled a little bit because we had to wait for Gabe to land in, and his flight didn't land until like 2. And fucking where we were staying was like 2 hours. It was all the way across the island. It was like 2 hours away. And so we just kind of...
Wasn't someone else still on the other island?
No, John and fucking Rafa, they came in. That was the... 2 people from the other island. They came in and they picked me up with the rental we got, and we were just like kind of driving around, got shit to eat, and like we were gonna go get our groceries and shit, but then John was like, no, we're gonna make Gabe be with us when we do all this shit. He's not just gonna be able to get in and fucking chill. Okay. And I was like, all right. And fucking so we waited and didn't get back to we didn't get to the crib until like fucking 6:30, and then we went and grilled all the food we got from the grocery store, like made everything. Like hella food. Lasted us about maybe 2 days. And fucking... Yeah, we scarfed it down. Maybe 3 days. And we smoked a joint, a pre-roll that night. Because Gabe actually brought like a half ounce of like shit from Los Angeles, allegedly. Damn. And he just put it in his check bag and then like threw it through. And I guess the TSA said they're not looking for weed, and... I guess they weren't.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's facts. Because allegedly somebody also brought some tabs of acid over there, and like we also did that a couple days. But that's a little bit later.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, that's
when I came back from Georgia one time.
Mm-hmm. Snags, dude. But they're the pyramid, so it wasn't even.
Oh yeah.
Fucking, where was it? Oh yeah, we're waiting for Gabe. We get Gabe, and fucking we go. No, I'm jumping all over the place. We get to the place.
I threw you off track.
No, it's good. We got to the fucking crib and we went and smoked that pre-roll at this like black sand beach. Didn't know that was a thing at all.
It's like volcanic shit.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like it was cool as fuck. I've never seen that. And like the old lady in the Uber was like, "Oh yeah, there's a green sand beach too," and I thought she was fucking with me. And we were going to go see that later on, but fucking didn't end up going to see it because it was a little bit too late in the day. But we smoked the pre-roll. We were tripping out because there was like a popular beach, but it was just nighttime and it was closed because like apparently there was a tropical storm that was supposed to hit. And like, yeah, the other side of the island that we actually landed at got like the there's like videos of like 20-foot waves crashing over houses, and I was just like, imagine you're walking out to get your mail, and like that's a lot of water, and that would be heavy as fuck, and it would just smash you on the concrete.
Your house up.
Not even your house, because it like went over the house and like landed like smacked yourself in the face with the fucking mic. It like smashed on the fucking concrete in front of the house, and I was like, damn.
Podcast episode. First collision with the mic.
Yeah. But fucking, anyways, we were there and we were kind of tripping out because we saw some lights and we were like, oh yeah, that's probably cops. And I was just like, I was fine because I live in a legal state, but I was definitely had my guard down a little bit. And it was whatever. Fucking the next day, what did we do then? Oh yeah, we went to this fucking like private beach, which it wasn't even like a private beach. It was just like, John was like, oh yeah, we're going to go on this like kind of chill hike because we were supposed to do Mauna Loa, this giant fucking mountain. I think it literally translates to massive mountain. And fucking we took he's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be an easy one. So me and Gabe took acid, and we did. There was like two parts to the trail. It was like you can go the jungle trail or the coastal trail, and we're like, those both sound really fucking cool, but let's go jungle here and then coastal back. So glad we did it that way. The coastal was longer, but it was a fire path.
That's fine.
And fucking we get to the beach.
Goated that it was set up that you could do it like that.
Exactly. And like the beach was the focal point. And so we get there, we were fucking around in the water a little bit, and then we got out and we were like, all right, let's go around let's go around and smoke this joint. But like there's a couple people there, and like I guess there was a drive-up point somewhere that we didn't see, and like we didn't want to drive up. Was the point. But like
the hike was probably fucking amazing.
It was so cool, and fucking we were tripping, so it would have been boring just to like take the tab and then go on the beach. And
no
then chill.
Journey.
Exactly. And I like to go on hikes when I take tabs or shrooms. Me and Kyle did that once. Well, a person. I don't want to throw him out there and out him, but we'll say just Kyle. And if you know who, you know who. We did shrooms. I think we did blended up shrooms and orange juice, and then went and hiked to the top of Kennesaw Mountain.
The fucking lemon tack.
Mm-hmm. That shit is amazing. I love that. But anyways, we took the jungle trail, and it was fucking insane. Like, it was like walking through, like, if you would have put me there, like, if I would have just woke up and, like, started walking through and not knowing where I was, I would have believed that I was in India. I would have believed I was in Africa. It was insane. Yeah. And, like, the mosquitoes weren't that bad, though. And, like, the thing that made it awesome, though, is, like, we didn't have any fear of like any big animals or snakes because there's like no snakes on the island that other than like ones that look like worms.
Really?
Yeah, and so it was just no stress going through there. It was beautiful. You could really enjoy like the nature instead of like looking down and making sure you're not going to step on like a fucking death adder or whatever the fuck.
Instantly get rocked.
Yeah, just well, this trip in my life is probably over. But fucking, anyways, we get to the beach and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the smoke spot. We cross over this little river. We go through like a little more jungle, and like we were wearing our Crocs and like our fucking water shoes because like you also wear water shoes there because like there's rocky. It's rocky as shit. Rocky Dennis, shout out. But fucking, we're not.
There's probably scary shit in the water too, isn't there?
There was like sea turtles parked like chilling up on the rocks like next to us. I forgot that part. And there was a dude that was in the water like spearfishing, like jumping in. We were in like a little cove that was protected by rocks. The water that was like in the ocean was like raging, and I was like, I don't know if I would want to get in there. I'm black, I can swim, but I don't want to like really test it and be that like guy.
Actually, fuck.
Yeah, we see a guy that's fucking jumping in there with a fucking trident, and he's there spearfishing, and he came out and he had like 8 of them, and they're like,
did he have on like scuba shit or anything?
No, he was just doing it with his fucking
just
breath.
Free diving.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that guy is a fucking beast. He had like fins on, but like that's not like
crazy.
Yeah, it was cool as fuck. He was fucking getting it. And so, anyways, we fucking went around to the jungle area. We went through. We get to the smoke spot. We smoked. I realized I was tripping balls there because it was just like beautiful. Like, yeah, just taking it all in. And fucking, we put on all of our shit because we were done. And we're like, all right, let's go back. And we get to this fucking river that we had crossed before with our water shoes on and shit. And fucking, I was wearing Crocs, so I just walked through it. And I was like instantly like, we all kind of stopped and were like, oh. And like they started like walking up on the rock wall to see if there was a way to go around, but the river got wider. Like it was emptying into the ocean, and it was like a very small stream where we were at. And it was like really no big deal at all. But I was like, all right, I'm going to just take my shit off. So I took my shoes off and then walked through it. It was fine. And then I look back and I see Gabe, and he's like, dude, I'm just going to go through it. and walks. This is the guy that's also tripping on acid. He walks straight through it wearing his hiking shoes. And I was like at first I was tripping, so I was like, oh, like Gabe is just taking it like a man and like going through it like he's not wasting time. Even though I had just taken my shoes off because I didn't want to have fucking prune feet. And I didn't even realize how whack it was that he was fucking walking through that until I looked back at John and Rafa, who were looking at him almost in tears, laughing at him. And then I burst out laughing, and Gabe gets over there and he's like, yeah, I don't even feel it, actually. He was walking knee deep through water and trying to convince me that he didn't feel the water in his, like, completely soaked shoes and socks. And then whenever he got over there and saw them fucking taking off their shit, I'm like half trying to not laugh because I'm like, okay, it wasn't that big a deal. It just must be me tripping. And like, they're over there dying laughing. I'm just trying to hold it in and not make Gabe feel bad.
Yeah.
And fucking, I cannot contain it whenever he looks over and says, oh, I guess I'm the retarded one. And I was just like, well, who the fuck else was the retarded one? It certainly wasn't any of the other people that took their gear off and walked through it. It was so funny. And then we were getting ready to leave, and then Gabe's like, actually, hold on. And has to take off his shoes, wring out his socks, dry his feet off with a towel, and then fucking put his feet back in the socks, and then back in his shoes. And we started going the coastal trail. And the coastal trail was sick, dude. It was like cliffs. And like, John was saying that he had went there before, and like there was a dude, like he was sitting kind of towards the edge, and there was a guy that had like walked by, and you don't really see a lot of people out there, because it's like a big ass island. And like it was in an area where not like a lot of people were at because we weren't going to the touristy areas.
Yeah.
And fucking like a dude was like, he said he kind of scared him because he didn't notice him, and he was like, you might not want to sit that close. I was sitting like just on the rock beyond that like last week, and I fell in and I had to get rescued because like the thing is it's like Hawaii. I always imagined it as like all sand beaches around
like
the entire
rocks.
thing. It's like cliffs around a lot of areas that are like. Some of them like fucking 100 feet up that like you would not be able to make your way back up if you fell in. And like there's like a one that I saw that was like that. That was like a ridge that was going right up to the water. And like there was some other areas like that, but not really ones that you'd get in. And there are beaches obviously as well, but like that's what struck me the most is like that there was fucking cliffs, and I was like, I wonder what would happen if like one of us fell in. And I was like, hey John, what happened to that guy like whenever he fell in? He's like, oh well, he had to swim out and then someone had to rescue him because he can't. Like the water is crashing up against these rocks, and it's volcanic rock, so it literally like shreds. It literally shreds, dude. Fucking, we go through the coastal trail. It's beautiful. We get back to the car. We're not really tripping at that point, and we go back, and we smoked another pre-roll. I think a pre-roll and a joint. And then the next day we did Mauna Loa, which ended up being 19.8 miles by the time we were done. And it was like a 2,000 foot elevation gain. And I just want to say, I fucking champed that shit. Like, they were all tired. And like, I think that it had a lot to do with, they were dying. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that they're like in Tampa and like Jacksonville, where it's like right at sea level, and I live here at like 4,500.
Yeah.
But like it was like 11,000 where we started, and then we went up to like 13,500 about.
Yeah.
I was chilling. Like I was like walking ahead. Yeah, I was like walking ahead and getting pictures, like a lot of pictures of them. Like, cause like it was cool to get like the picture of all three and like from a higher angle. And we were above the clouds from the time that we even got out of the car. So like the pictures were phenomenal. Yeah. Like I'm going to throw them up like right now probably.
That's fire.
Yeah. It's like the pictures were amazing because we were so high up and you could just see the clouds in the back. And like, yeah, there was a bunch of things called false summits, which is like you get to the top, like what you think is the top,
and then you can see that there's way more to go.
Yeah, like oh, and there was like 8 of those, and like
you gesture like this at a local.
3 of them, yeah, fucking 3 of them were like actually got me because I was like, damn, I just thought we were like close to the top, and I was like, oh. And anyways, we get all the way up to the top, get some awesome pictures. We're looking into a valley, and I guess that's where like lava erupted. And like sometimes whenever the volcano or whatever the fuck erupted there, like it would go from wherever it was on the mountain, just like all the way down to the like ocean water, and it would just be black rocks like all the way through. And they don't build on that, so it's just like kind of a cool sight.
Yeah.
And like you couldn't really see that. It was like a cool valley. I'm gonna throw up a picture of it right now as well. But fucking, there's a cool valley there. And it was like kind of breathtaking just to think, damn, dude, like if I jumped and fell, I might die of a heart attack before I fucking die. Have you ever played Halo 2 where like you're on a map? Dude, fucking just like that.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Dude, also going through there was like pyrite. Like that's what John said it was, which I don't know. And then he said fool's gold, which I believe that it was fool's gold. And I might have accidentally smuggled one of those rocks, which I think is like a super. I think
those are the same thing.
Yeah, maybe. Am I tripping or that TV just making sure I'm not still tripping? But fucking.
What the fuck was that?
Some Roku TV remotes are universal, so someone might be fucking with it from downstairs or something. But fucking.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, fucking, we went through this like area of pyrite, and we were like, John had brought these life straws, and he was like, the trick is like, if there's not really a lot of water out there, you could just fucking get your sock, take it off, and rub it all over the condensation of like anything around, then squeeze it into the life straw and like do the little mechanism with it, and then it's fucking good and you can drink it. And he was like, oh, well, here we could do it. And we looked at it and it looked so shiny, and like the entire floor looked wet, but like it was completely dry, and it was the pyrite. And like there were some areas where it was like,
was that shit like sharp?
Yeah, like every single part of it was sharp as fuck, and it was like if you fall, it would hurt. Like, I kind of slipped a little bit once, and like it was an area where I like caught myself on a rock in my hand, and like instantly I was like, oh, like that wasn't a bad fall at all, and I did not enjoy that. And I was like, I cannot, like I need to be careful to watch my step, because there's also these things called lava tubes. Like if you don't stay on the trail, then like you could wander into like an area of like rock that's very like high up, but fucking really there's like a tube under it where like the lava cooled, and it's completely like hollow, and you could fall in like very deep and like hurt yourself.
Oh my god!
The scariest thing about that is there's this things called potholes, where it's a small hole that falls into a thing and then just gets giant like in there, and like you'd just not be able to get your way back up because there'd be no way to climb up or anything.
It's just slick.
Yeah, but fucking, you don't want to fall in those. And also, like, the pyrite, sometimes it would be, like, very soft on the top.
And you were doing this in Crocs?
No.
Oh,
That was the jungle trail. I wore my Adidas. I actually will give them a shout-out, because I wore these the entire time. Their hiking boots got destroyed. My fucking Adidas came out on top.
Nice.
Let me make sure this thing is...
I don't know what this ear does. What's the ear? I don't know if it bonked that.
Can you still hear in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, we got the angle. Oh. Okay. Okay.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys, but back to the story. You didn't want to fall in the shit, basically, is the moral of the story. And when we were going down, since I had came up really fast, I like would stop and take a bunch of pictures.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can adjust it.
Alright, cool.
I would like stop and take pictures ahead of them, and like fucking what's it called? I would like stop ahead of them and take pictures and like kind of wait for them to catch up, and then I would like go ahead again, because I was like not tired, but they were like really winded from the altitude, because that shit can like it can kill you.
When you're not used to it, it's like nothing you've ever felt. Like your lungs feel fucking heavy.
Yeah, there's no amount of training for it, because it's like such a different thing.
The air's different.
Yeah, facts. And fucking I whenever we were going down, I was like not trying to wait, because like if we got stuck up there, the way we got up was by following these things called cairns, which are like basically these little rock pyramids that like people set up.
They stack.
Yeah.
That's cool as fuck.
It was really cool, but if it gets foggy or cloudy, then like you would have a very difficult time getting down. And like you could very easily get like really lost out there, and it would be very bad. And so like I like kept on getting ahead, and eventually I stopped and waited for him, and I wanted to ask for the keys, but I was like, damn, I really don't want to be like a dick and make them think that I'm just gonna like go ahead. And like whenever I'd stopped, I was gonna take off again, and like, wait, Nate, we're gonna give you the keys, and you can go ahead and like roll the joint for when we get down there. And I was like, perfect, because like I brought the papers, we have the weed down there, and I would love to just go fast. I fucking went down there, and it was so silent It was maddening. Like, I would hear my water bottle make a noise, and I would be like, yeah, it was just like, what the fuck is going on? And it would scare the shit out of me. But
It's
fucking
like the night shift episode of SpongeBob.
exactly. I got to the bottom of the mountain, and there was some fucking dickhead down there. I saw these like 3 people, but I didn't talk to them or anything because they were off the path, and I was like, they're dumb. They're gonna get lost unless they know where they're going. But it's not my
Like
business.
tourists?
Yeah. It's like, we're tourists, but we just did our research on that, and it's like,
Are they silly white folk?
yeah, like some of them, I guess. One of them was a Japanese guy that, more on him in a minute. But fucking, anyways, fucking, we did our research because that's like a hike that like you plan to do. It ended up being 20 miles. The people that were there were fucking, I guess I'll get to it immediately. Like, whenever John and them came in like contact with one of the, like, they saw the people, and then they came in contact with just the Japanese guy that was like sitting down on his phone. He's like, "Did you see a group of people up there?" And like, he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Are there multiple paths to get up there?" And he's like, "Dude, I don't really have time to give you like a synopsis of the trail. So like, you really should have done your research because we're like running late, and like, yeah, we did see people going up there." And like, yeah, there's a lot of trails that you could get lost on if you like don't know where you're going. And fucking, what's it called? He was like, "Oh, okay." And fucking just kind of sat there, and like they left him, and they're like, "Dude, that's not good." Like, I guess he was like too tired to continue and was waiting for him, and they wanted to see a volcano, which like, it was a very long time ago erupted volcano, which is like, you could see it was greenery. It wasn't like a typical volcano. You could go to
left this dude.
Yeah. Well, he like couldn't go on, so you couldn't like they couldn't take him. Like they didn't have any plan for that at all. And like John had like all of them had called people and said like, "We're supposed to be done by this time. Like if we're not done by this time, call the authorities." Because like that's smart.
Yeah.
Those people, I have a feeling, just they literally got off the plane and were like, "Yeah, we're going.
Hike looks fun.
Let's go see a volcano." And then they put volcano in the fucking GPS, drove there, and then they were doing that hike.
That's fucked.
And they were like 7 miles up the mountain where that guy was. And yeah, I got down at like 4. We started at like 8 a.m. And it was a long ass hike, but we stopped a couple times to eat and shit, and like I got to the bottom like 45 minutes to an hour before them, and I rolled the joint, and I just passed out because I was so tired.
Yeah,
and
I bet your legs were like numb.
Dude, I wasn't that sore. The main thing that was sore was actually my fucking straps because my fucking backpack was so uncomfortable. But like, they had gotten like all the hiking gear, like as far as like hiking shoes and like hiking backpacks, and they were feeling it way more than me. But they were also 26, so maybe it's like literally just not calling them old, but I mean they are old bastards by now. Should be in a retirement home. But fucking maybe it's just like whenever we get older, that would be something that like we would feel. But I was kind of chilling other than my traps and like my ass, which fucking tells you I was getting raped by a mountain man up there. But fucking
yeah, that's what you were telling me about the native prejudice.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking the next day was supposed to be a chill day, and we went to this like. We went to a couple waterfalls. Like the first one was just like a lookout waterfall, which was all right. It looked cool. Fucking, but it looked cool, but it
squirted on me.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be way worse. It looked cool, but I mean, it was like whatever. But like the other one was at a place called Boiling Pots, which like he was like, it's called Boiling Pots because there's an area where the water is rushing and the current is actually down, so you'll get sunk under the water and your body won't come out until like months later. They won't be able to get your body out for like months later. And he was like, yeah, you don't want to get in there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to this smoke spot at this waterfall down there where we do have to do a little bit of a dangerous river crossing to where if we don't make it to this rock and like then make it across to the next part, we will get sucked into this area, get hit by a couple rocks and taken into boiling pots. And so that's what we did. And I kind of thought I was going to fuck up, but I wasn't like scared because I was like, they're confident. And we had to like jump in like waist deep water, and then like it got to like chest deep water, and we had to like get on this rock that was kind of, there was like a land part and then a rock, and then like the other land part we were going to, and John did it, then I did it, then Rafa did it, and then Gabe did it, and like we all made it through. It did kind of look like Gabe was gonna get sucked through and like maybe taken for a ride into boiling pots, but he didn't end up, and we were good. We got to the spot, Fucking swam around in it for a little bit. It was really fucking cold though. Got some sick ass pictures. Smoked a joint there, and there's like a bunch of tourists that were looking down, and it's like, whoa, how'd they get there? And like they actually did follow the path down, and like got exactly to where we got until they saw the river crossing, and they were like, never mind. Yeah. And like whenever we got back to that river crossing, they were all sitting there like, oh, like I wonder how they're gonna get through. And like they saw us swim across it, and like it was just like they were like waiting for one of us to get sucked in to have a fucking nice watch. But fucking we went from there to this place called
like, I want to see them die.
Preying on the downfall, like T Grizzly.
Surely everyone.
Dude, I forgot. That morning we went to see this cave, and John was like, oh yeah, it's just a cool cave to look into. Turns out you could go in it, and we went like a mile deep in there, and like then it got to a part where we would have had to crawl, or like literally lay out and crawl, and it was like, nah, fuck that. And fucking, we turned around, but we met these two fat, well, they're probably not going to listen to this, even though the only way they know me is from, whatever, funny story, I'll get to that later, but the only way that they would know me would be from this. But these two fat bitches that like people had thrown shade at because they're like, oh, are you guys Samoans? And they're like, no, we're not Samoans, which is basically saying you're a fat fuck. But fucking, anyways, they're following us through, and they even put us on this spot called Narnia Falls, and like we were like, oh, that's a sick spot. And like, yeah, we're going there, you should come. And we were like, no. And we did our other waterfalls, and then like we finished them, and we were like, oh, finally we can go there, and they probably won't be there. Dude, I really hope that they don't find out about this. That would be so mad, because they were such nice people, but we were like, no, like let's go whenever they're not there. And we were like, go, and like
it's just because nobody wants to hang out with females. Nothing personal.
Yeah, really, that's it. But the thing is they were fine. Then we would have had the urge to have sex with them. So then that would have made up for it. But we didn't have the urge to have sex with these nice people. And it was just like, we don't want them to be a part of the thing. But like, we go and we're fucking. We basically had to stop. Like they found out about it from a TikTok where it like was like giving directions. It's like you got to stop on the side of the road, then walk a little bit, turn into a neighborhood, walk through the neighborhood, then go through this gate, walk for a couple miles till you see a water tower. Then there's going to be a fork in the road. You turn off right, and then you're there. And we were like, okay, well, we'll probably find it. And like there's like some pictures and shit of like stuff on the way there.
Sounds like some Morrowind quest location instructions. That would have been like,
it was cool. We found it. Fucking beautiful. I'm gonna insert like a bunch of shit, so there's gonna be like a little pause here with some elevator music, maybe. Fucking nice. And all the pictures of it, but it was amazing. Like we had to like walk through. We had to climb down an area, walk through like a area where there was like a seawall going over where it actually was a waterfall, and like it was pretty safe, but it was like if you had fell, it would have been bad.
Like everywhere.
Yeah,
you've described.
Yeah. It would have been bad. And fucking, we went through, swam to this area, and I see like a cave, and I was like, that's sick. I wonder if we can get there. And then I was like, oh, I would have to climb across a rock where there would be no foothold, and it would be like a 30-foot drop. I was like, no, I don't think I'll do that. And then I ended up finding another way into the cave, also going to insert some pictures of that.
Nice.
Fucking got some sick-ass pictures. We swam around. Oh, yeah, we got almost there, and then Rafa was like, oh, guys, bad news. And we were like, what? And he's like, the fat bitches are still there. And we were like, oh, we thought it was going to be something really bad. And we were just like, whatever. And fucking, that was our fucking off day. It was like 6 miles of walking that day. And then the next day, what was the next day? I believe that was...
The next day.
That was whenever we went and took acid at this fucking black sand, this real like big black sand beach. And it was like we had to go down into a valley, and then hike. We went on another hike that was like 2 miles up. And like I was fine with it. Like physically I was good. I just didn't really want to, but I was like, whatever. And I'd taken 2 types of acid that time. And John had taken one, and Gabe had taken one, but Rafa was like kind of our leader. And fucking we went up this big ass mountain. Not big ass mountain. It was like 2 miles up, and there was just an immaculate scene. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. Like, I was tripping, the fucking mountains were dancing, and we finally got we were up
nice.
There. Dude, it was awesome. And fucking, it was like literally water, and then a giant mountain, and then it was literally going up like as far as the eye could see. And it was like a insane spot to be tripping. And we also smoked up there. And fucking, we had the spot to ourselves for a little bit, and actually went up to like this bench that they had like made up there, and we were just sitting on it, and we talked up there for like probably 2 hours just about like bullshit like about Thomas University, and we were making fun. Dude, we were making fun of Joe Bale. This guy, I think I've told you about Joe Bale, the dude that always get blackout. We saved him from the hospital that one time, but fucking, we were doing Joe Bale.
Isn't that why you got hammered in the airport off whiskey cokes, man?
No, that's Jack Chambers. Chambo, fucking dude. Two amazing characters.
British people.
They're the same thing, pretty much. Chambo's Welsh, though. But fucking... Anyways, Joe Bale, we were making fun of him because he's actually better now. He's not a blackout motherfucker, but he used to be. Fucking, there was a story where he, like, passed out in the middle of the road. Not passed out. Chambo and him went to the fucking Super Bowl. I think I actually might have told you about this, but Chambo and him went to the Super Bowl party at, like, a bar in Thomasville, and Chambo had to wake up at 4 a.m. the next day, and he's like, Joe, let's go. And he's like, no, I'll just get someone to pick me up. And he's like, Joe, I'm not fucking around. Like, I'm not going to wake up at any time to pick you up from here. Like, you need to come with me, or you need to, like, find a way home. And he's like, Katie will take me. And Katie's the person that didn't really know him well, and, like, if anything, doesn't like him. And fucking Joe... He's like, tries to get her to pick him up, doesn't work. Fucking, he starts walking home, which is like a pretty decent walk, like pretty far fucking walk. And these fucking rednecks come across him laying in the middle of the road, muddy as fuck, and he's going, do it, just fucking kill me, run me over. And he fucking,
that's great.
We were just saying, do it. Fucking kill me. Just run me over the entire time. But, like, we were making fun of, like, shit like that, talking about Thomasville soccer, like, a bunch of bullshit. And we ended up going down. We were tripping for a while. Fucking got sunburnt for the second time in my life. Didn't hurt, but it was just weird to see my face peeling. And the next day we went to this Volcano National Park. And, like, we were supposed to, like, go at night and, like, see the volcano, like, lava glow. But it was
That'd
really
be fucking fire.
It was really cold though, and we walked like half a mile down this one path following these two people, and like they overheard our conversation, and they're like, "Are you guys trying to see the lava?" And we were like, "Yeah," and they're like, "It's actually the other way," and we were like, "No!" And it was like a mile walk. We thought it was gonna be a mile round trip. It was a mile that way, and we were already freezing after we'd just done like a full mile going halfway there, and we were like, "No!" Like John still went, but we were waiting in the car. I was trying to fuck a Tinder bitch, and I was like, "I want to gas up the car." Dude, I know.
Trying to fuck a bitch in Hawaii.
Yes, bro.
No.
It didn't happen, but fucking.
Okay.
Anyways.
I'm sorry that it didn't happen if you were trying.
No, it's okay. It didn't matter. But fucking, we were waiting for John. John came back. We had like 20 miles of gas left, and we were like, we need to get gas. We got in that situation 2 times because we didn't gas up when I wanted to. And fucking, we were like, had like one time, fucking, we literally had line as gas. Like there was no fucking, it went from 10 to that. And it was like, oh, so I guess it's a guessing game for the last 10 miles of how far until I run out. Fucking basically on fumes.
Fun.
Yeah, the other time we got to like fucking 13 miles or something like that and refueled.
Like,
it was awful, but pretty much that was like it. Like
booty hole clenched.
Yeah, the next day we just kind of went to. The next day we went and rode 4-wheelers, which was pretty sick. But we had to go slow, which was understandable because they told us a story about this New Zealand bastard that fucking. He like slunk off behind everybody, then gunned it going like 45 over a hill and launched himself like into the woods, knocked himself out. His hand was still on the throttle and he was launching himself through, and his girlfriend was on the back with him, and fucking she was getting like cut up and also get knocked out, and like she like walked out, and they had to fucking get a helicopter in to save that nigga.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, fucking I forgot.
Fucking hard.
2 stories, Gabe stories. Mauna Loa. You remember I was saying you don't want to fall?
Yeah.
Gabe ate shit. I wasn't there for that. On the way down, apparently he fell so fucking hard. And like they were laughing about it.
Cut on the fucking.
Yeah, he got cut. It looked like he got attacked by the entire time. I was like, everyone kept saying, "You look like you got attacked by a bobcat." Dude. But fucking.
That's fucked.
That shit was sick as fuck. Him falling. It was funny. For everyone that wasn't him, I guess. That probably really hurt for him. But, what's it called?
God.
The rock story.
Ruthless fucking Nate.
No. You should hear the rock story. All right, so when we were at the Black Sand Beach tripping on acid, we were pretty much done with our trip. There's another thing I left out of that. We were pretty much done with our trip, And we were like about to walk away, and like pretty much every time we stopped, we'd throw rocks in the water. And like, to be honest, I was kind of pussy to do it because I was like, I don't want to throw out my shoulder, and I also don't want to like take too big of a rock and then be too close to a cliff and then like fall off as well. But like they're throwing them, and like this wasn't an issue here, but I was like,
physics interpretation.
Yeah, fucking, I was worried about it, but they. At this area, it wasn't like a worry. You would just fall face first into a river, which would have been funny. But I was like, oh, you guys haven't even thrown rocks in the water yet. And fucking, they stopped, and Rafa and Gabe were throwing them in the water. Well, Rafa actually was at first, skipping the rocks across the water. And then Gabe, he gets up, and like the entire time we've been there, John has just been doubting this nigga Gabe. Like, Gabe, bro, are you all right? Gabe, bro, are you good? Like, every time looking back to make sure Gabe's like straight and like not sagging off behind, because he's like, I guess he perceives him as way out of shape compared to us. And it was like, okay. And like, he definitely isn't like as skinny as us, but he's not like a big guy. You'll see, well, I'll show you the picture. But fucking, anyways, Gabe is fucking about to step up, and he's about to skip a rock. And I was like, oh, dude, Gabe is probably about to be fire at this shit. Like, he's probably about to step up and hit a 5 skipper right now. Because, like, skipping rocks is like a thing that you don't have to be athletically inclined at all. Like, I can't do it at all. Some people can. I was thinking, like, Gabe lives in Tampa.
For shit.
I was like, dude, Gabe lives in Tampa. It's going to be straight. He's going to get up and fucking launch that motherfucker. And, like, John says, nah, dude, Gabe's probably going to live.
Mastermind Nate.
Because I was like, there's a lot of pressure built on after I do that. But then John goes, yeah, John goes, nah, he's an idiot. He's probably going to fucking fall on his face in the river and, like, mess up the rock. So John's the real hater here. I am the Gabe supporter.
Okay.
And Gabe steps up. He steps up. Hear this. This is like right after we had this conversation, and we were saying it really loud. And there's some other people around the area. There's a family that's like kind of at this log behind us that's chilling. There's these little kids like running around on the other side of the river. And then there's these two like people that are clearly like on their honeymoon in love, standing like right on this little patch that kind of came out into the river, and like it was at a weird angle. And Gabe lines up like an MLB pitcher and throws this rock, and it's like coming like a fucking ICBM missile, like really fast. And I see the first splash, and from physics you can kind of tell, like from the camera, I'm right here. If I throw my phone and you see it bounce off the road, you can kind of tell it might come at you. And Gabe throws the rock, and it bounces, and the first skip looks like it is going straight for this woman's face. Like, right at... Well, I don't know if it was the man or the woman, because I just saw it was a group of two people, and so many things ran through my mind. I was like, her teeth are gone. She might die. That is going to be so fucking painful. And as soon as Gabe... Like, we saw the first bounce, like, we're still kind of talking, like, as Gabe goes to throw it. Like, John is, like, saying this right as he's, like, throwing the rock, and then it's just... And we're like dead quiet, and then Rafa's like, "Oh my god, Gabe, how did you do that?" And we're like, "What just happened? Like, how did that rock not just kill that woman?" And like, fucking, apparently the rock skipped around them and then went like 5 times and skipped more. That's how Gabe almost killed a lady with a rock, and that'll be the picture that's up. But fucking, dude, it was insane.
That's not been the best vibes after that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like laughing really hard after it didn't happen, because I was like, that was gonna be nuts, and I probably would have laughed if it happened, just to be honest. But fucking, anyways, dude, the water was not looking inviting at all. Like, the water looked like, hey, come in a little bit and I'm gonna suck you out and fucking take you out for a ride. And we were like not getting in the water the entire time we were at that beach. But then when we were about to leave, we saw these 2 dudes that looked like chicken. One was like Chicken Joe from Surf's Up, and like another one was like just kind of a smaller dude with black hair that were obviously like natives, or like locals. Natives. They were locals that had like walked out from like not the trailhead that we had actually came to get to that beach. And fucking, they started surfing it, and it was crazy. Chicken Joe
shredding.
Yeah, Chicken Joe was out there like for 30 minutes, like trying to get out, and he was not making any progress. And I was just like, dude, he must be so fucking tired. And finally he moved like a little bit, and then like actually made his way out there and was shredding.
It's fire, Chicken Joe.
Dude. But that was pretty much the Hawaii. Oh yeah, the weed. Fucking, I ended up making a gravity bong when we were out there. Fucking
classic engineering.
We got one of those gallon water things that was like a rectangle thing, and I cut the top off of it, took a water bottle, melted in I bought a bong piece for like $35 just for the occasion because I love Jeebs. Like, I'm impartial to those. And fucking melted it into the cap and then put it on there. It was perfect. Other than they wanted one that was cut off instead of the one that has like the holes in it. Mm-hmm. I think the ones with the holes in it are a little bit better because you can take it out of the water and still have the smoke in there.
Facts.
But if you have the half cut off one, that's not really an option.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, yeah, by the way, we should tell you guys, the reason we've been saying podcast and shit, and why Jake is fucking more of a grease monkey Enzo Guinea than he normally is because right before this, we smoked what is known as a super blunt. It had like 2 grams of weed in it and like a half a gram of dabs. It was like a moon rock, basically, and a bunch of keef on it. And then we were hitting the student glass. Yeah, student glass. Fucking the Wiz Khalifa bong shit. I made a video of showing how to use it, and afterwards I looked and my lips were actually crusty as fuck, and so I'm not posting that video. And you might be surprised because you've seen some of the podcasts where I do post myself with crusty lips, and I hope after this I look at it and I'm like, damn it, they got crusty again. But fucking yeah, I didn't fucking keep that one. Well, who were we talking about the other day? Last night we were talking about this person, Chris Chan, and who was the first person you thought Chris Chan was? The retarded. Tell me the story about that retarded person.
So okay, so I guess Jeff Town. There used to be like a Netflix documentary about this fucking like guy with Down syndrome that was like a complete piece of shit, basically.
Aren't they all?
Like, he literally, in the documentary, just all of his, like, friends and family describe how he, like, used his fucking Down syndrome as an excuse to, like, be a, total manipulative piece of fucking shit.
The people were just like, guys, he's retarded, but trust me, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. That would be hilarious if everyone was just actually pieces of shit all around him and he's just a normal guy with Down syndrome.
And they're like, we gotta get sympathy to make this to where it's an okay story where we leave him at a fucking, what's it called? At the fire station.
Everyone's in on it.
Yeah. They're like, I didn't really want a retarded little brother. And everyone's like, Yeah, I mean, honestly, we should just kill all retarded people.
I mean, that's what a lot of people would agree with, to be honest.
Like, whenever someone's, like, pregnant...
It's an argument that I've heard.
Yeah, like, whenever someone's, like, pregnant and, like, they find out they have a retard, like, it's probably worth it just to kill it. Like, I would love to say it's not, but I wouldn't want a retarded kid.
Fuck.
Who knows, though? I can't be the judger of life. Fucking...
I mean, I can expect to not have a retarded kid when I myself am fucking retarded.
You just gotta fuck your... Dude, Elon Musk's dad, he fucked his stepdaughter, which he was raising her from the time she was like 2. He's trying to make another little retard because he's like, I made this last one with autistic and he's fucking fire. He makes SpaceX, Tesla, fucking... I guess
it's not technically incest.
I didn't think about that. That's true.
It's still disgusting, though. Like, he probably, like, changed her diapers or some shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Fucked her and inseminated her.
That is so strange. What's the closest family member that you would fuck? Like... Okay, well, actually, let me say something. I used to think that second cousin was, like... I have a cousin, and then my cousin has a cousin that's removed, like, not blood related to me at all. And then third cousin was, like, beyond that. But no, second cousin is, like, if your first cousin has a kid. So, I guess the third cousin, like, how far would it have to go as in, like, would you fuck your cousin's cousin if they were not blood?
No.
Would you fuck your cousin's cousin's cousin if they were not blood?
If there was any semblance of being related to me, I would not do it.
What if it was Selena Gomez?
No, I don't care.
What? Okay. Dude, if it was like a fine person, I would fuck my cousin's cousin. No, I'm playing. Well, no, I'm not. If it was Selena Gomez, I would definitely be fucking her. as long as it wasn't blood to me.
You're gonna be like Chris Chan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because fucking Chris Chan is in jail for the real Chris Chan. Because what happened is fucking Jake had brought up. He's like, "Do you know who Chris Chan is? Or do you know what Chris Chan is?" And I was like, I thought it was like I didn't know, but then I remembered hearing the name, and I was like, oh. Yeah, I've heard the name. I don't know what it is, though. And he's like, it's this evil, retarded person. And fucking described that Jeff Town guy. And fucking... Then we watched the Jeff Town thing, and then he described that. And then he's like, but who is Chris Chan? And then Jake is like, oh my God. And I was like, who is Chris Chan? What the fuck? Chris Chan is in jail. Who is Chris Chan? Jesus Christ. Chris Chan did that? What the fuck? I'm like, who is Chris Chan? And he was like... oh my God, dude, Chris Chan is in jail for raping his mom. And I was like, what? And he's like, he's in jail for incest for raping his mother. And then he was like, I was like, oh my God, that's like Ricky Martin. Because that was another name that I had heard that had also gotten in trouble for incest. Yeah. Gabe informed me that he was also fucking a gay person. He was a gay person. Not fucking a gay. He was a gay person. And I guess it was with one of his nephews.
His nephew, yeah. Some shit.
And he's getting sentenced to up to 50 years. And I was like, holy shit.
They said it's all good.
Really?
Yeah.
With Ricky Martin?
Yeah.
What about Chris Chan?
No.
Wait a second, what? Well, that doesn't make any sense. They're both fucking people that are...
No, I guess it was like bullshit.
Oh, the Ricky Martin thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But fucking Chris Chan, no, like... He's a 39-year-old male to female trans retarded person that wrote the Sonichu comics, and yeah, I guess he raped his 79-year-old mother.
Wait a second, but I thought you came to the conclusion that it was consensual last night.
Yeah, I guess, but they don't specify, which is strange.
And it also doesn't really. I don't know. I think if it's rape, it's a lot better on the mother, like looking, like outwards looking at. Because think about it, like
I wouldn't think it would be the mother raping him.
No, yeah,
he's a crazy retarded person.
No, of course, but fucking, if like the mother's getting raped, everyone's like, oh, poor mother. But then if it's like they wanted to, then it's like maybe you should lock her up as well.
Yeah,
lock her old fucking ass up. That's disgusting. They're really like, your DNA is so nasty. We do not want you spreading it. It's like my good man AH. I won't specify on that, but Austrian. Isn't it strange that, like, you actually told me this? All the best things that are, like, German really come from Austria. Like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and fucking...
definitely a retard statement of mine.
Sausage. There's, like, a specific... Bratwurst, I think. And, AH.
I can't remember what the other thing they said was.
I wonder if people know what I'm talking... I mean, you gotta know what I'm talking about.
And how come all the best rulers of all time have come from somewhere else?
Like Napoleon came from Corsica. Yeah. Fucking... Dude, funny story with Corsica, actually. That's that little island. Like, there's these two islands, like a bigger one and then a smaller one that are, like, right kind of in between Italy and France and Spain, I guess, all together. And, like, Corsica was, like, an Italian thing, and, like, whenever Napoleon was born. And then they kept on rioting, and they're like, we don't want to be a part of you. We're not even attached. And then they're like, whatever. You can be free. And they're like, awesome. We're the Republic of Corsica, and we're the most awesome people and most... And then Italy was like... Hey, shut up real quick. Hey, France, you want to buy this? And they're like, yeah, we'll take it. And then they're like, oh.
They were so mad that they were French.
Dude, so many of them. Napoleon hated his dad because of that.
And that's why literally Napoleon's entire motivation for fucking doing everything that he did and taking power was because he hated France. He just wanted to troll.
He's like, I'm going to get this.
Literally the biggest troll of all time.
And I'm going to make it best.
Yeah.
By making it not French.
He just knew he could move up and get power by moving up in the military. And then he was like, did a couple pro gamer moves.
Dude, he actually was a pretty good ruler. Like, even beyond like his conquering. Like, he held women's rights back. And two, he actually introduced the idea of like public schooling, of like being like, hey, no, let's like have our kids, instead of just like kind of learning as they go, getting a general idea of what we think is kind of important. Which, like, nowadays, it's, like, a little bit different, and people look at it different because public schools aren't really... I feel that they aren't doing their job of, like, teaching people what they need to know.
Yeah, but people back then didn't even know how to fucking read.
Yeah, so they really did need to know.
Like, the level of what they were getting compared to what they didn't have was insane.
Dude, people always like take things for granted like that we've just had forever. And it's like, imagine coming up with that idea of like, if there's no school and you're just like, let's set up a thing where like people go to learn and they have to do it. Like from the time their kids do a certain time. And then they can be adults. It's like, damn, that's like a way better use of them than like just giving them fucking, what's it called? Like hard work to do. Then you have like an actual population of educated people.
Yeah. Because kids are like, they suck at whatever you're going to make them do.
Yeah, until you can make them good at it.
If you take away all the people who are like working age and doing shit to teach them, they're already like adults and I guess deserve to learn, but like then you'll have no one making food.
Yeah, and it's also harder to learn whenever you're fucking older like that. You don't have the brain elasticity.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really why it's best to learn shit when you're young. I remember that from Mr. Sparks' class.
Dude, yeah, I swear I'm already fucking retarded.
Dude, I swear, like, not reading, like, from class, which I haven't really read seriously since, like, 9th grade.
Yeah, and, you said you didn't read, like, anything.
Yeah, to be honest, I really didn't even read in 9th grade. But Miss Cutums was so fine, so I was like, I'll do whatever you want, baby. But fucking, I read, like, one book in there, and I remember I used to just use Spark Notes all the time, and I fucking never read anything. But, like, now I try and go and reach it, and I'm just like, nah, like it's so.
Oh my god!
Like I can't. Like I'll be halfway.
Black person moment.
Exactly. I'll be like halfway through a page, and I'm just like, I'll be like thinking, I'm like, man, I'm getting really far on this page. Like I haven't read it like this in a long fucking time, man. I'm proud of myself.
Processing it.
Yeah, I'm going through a whole thing, and I'm just like, fucking. At the end, I'm like, damn it, I'm like 2 pages away, and then I'll be like. I probably picked it up, and then like keep on going, and then I'll be like, well, I don't really understand it, and it's just. Yeah. Literally fucking not practicing shit and your fucking muscles deteriorate.
Yeah. So you just gotta do it.
Yeah. That's why I just won't ever read again in my entire life. And eventually I'll be like, Rade? What does that say? And just not even know. I'll communicate with numbers. Fucking, I'll be the first guy to come out with an audio book in Braille.
Yeah. Fuck you. Actually.
Oh, wait a second. That doesn't make sense. Braille is a deaf person. Wait, no, Braille's a blind person thing, and the audiobook was supposed to be a joke at a deaf person. Well, that one failed on a couple of levels. Can you hit that blue button for me, please? Not funny. Yeah, that's. I'd give that one to myself. Dude, fucking. Oh my god, what the fuck else was there? Oh yeah, other cool shit, like, other than public schooling, fucking the interstate. Like, Dwight D. Eisenhower did that shit, like, 100% for the military.
He's like, guys.
We need to connect.
Yeah.
Before it was just all back roads. Imagine using maps on that, bruh.
Yeah, like, it already is kind of ass still.
Yeah, like, fucking... Honestly, that's what the next president needs to run on, is just like, I'm gonna make the fucking interstates a little bit more interconnectional. And, like, fucking... I don't know how he'd do it, but just literally start from, like, 2 major cities that don't have one to each other. Like, fucking Austin to Chicago. And then, like, link up fucking shit in between, like Tulsa, fucking Omaha. Fucking make it go up there. It
probably already is like that, and we don't even know.
Yeah, I'm just retarded. Fucking... If you look at the map, like, I remember whenever there used to be, like, actual physical maps, I used to fuck around with it and, like, look at the actual roads and shit, and I was like, damn, they do have a lot.
Yeah, it's, like, literally, like, blood vessels.
Dude, and if you look at it, like, drone footage of, like, sped up cars, like, in a not intersection, like, with traffic, that looks like how blood vessels behave.
Just the cells flowing through.
Yeah.